everyone. Very good afternoon to all of you. Prince is here. Amisha, I'm seeing you, I think, after quite a bit of time. Trisha, Ekta, good to see all of you. Okay, so oh, there's somebody called Romantic Boy saying, "Girl, are you here?" वाह वाह, यही तो भारत की युवा की जो क्या हो रहा है पता नहीं, बट एनीवे। आरती, संजय, hello. Deepanshu, very good afternoon. Khushi, very good afternoon to you as well. Okay, so we're taking a break from CLAT and a little bit of focus is going to shift today to some of the other important examinations, and particularly we are going to focus today on the AILET examination, that is the examination for National Law University of Delhi, which is one of the most prestigious law schools in India for sure. Says the platform out? I don't think so, but just keep checking the BHU website. Yes, that should be enough, right? So please talk in English. Don't know Hindi. Okay, Jaya Krishna says it's a problem. I'll try to stick to as much English as possible. It's sometimes it's the reverse complaint that I also get, which is why somewhere in there's a little bit of peppering of the other prominent language in India. But sure, we can certainly keep it predominantly English because that's the language in which your examination is going to be conducted, and so on. So that's not a problem at all. Okay, so like I said, NLU Delhi is the focus in terms of our discussion for today, and National University Delhi, of course, conducts its own separate law entrance, as most of you know, and most of the times they have continued with the pattern that the CLAT examination has, except probably a slightly different level of difficulty, as well as the fact that it's usually been a slightly more compact format, in the sense that they've had only 150 questions, and they have usually gotten a paper which is of 90 minutes, which is going to be the focus even this time, which is the pattern that they're continuing with this time as well. A few questions on the chat box. Sanjay Kumar says, sir, can we apply for the 5 years law in Delhi University? I think Delhi University has only 3-year program, but if they have started with a 5-year program, then you can certainly apply for the entrance, because you will be eligible for the examination as well. Just need to check the percentages and all of that, but I'm sure that shouldn't be a problem. And yes, if you're eligible for the CLAT, you can assume that 99.999% of the times you would be eligible for any other 5-year law entrance examination that is happening, that's happening as well. So what's the difference between NLU Delhi as an examination, right? As a law school, like I've already told you, it's one of the premier law schools, definitely a top 3 or at least a top 5 law school, and some people even believe that it is likely to overtake NLS Bangalore, though I'm not one of those people. I still believe NLS and Nalsar at least, and NLSIU specifically in Bangalore, continues to be the predominant force of national universities today, and it certainly continues to be number 1. But anyway, premier law school and a premier law school entrance. Before we jump into it, a few interesting updates from all of us here at Gradeup. In light of the World Environment Day, when is World Environment Day? It's just around the corner. Yesterday we had World Bicycle Day, and what day is today is Is there something that's happening today as well? Dheeraj, I don't think I got any messages from you yesterday. I think I've replied to at least quite a few people, yesterday itself, but I'll try to take a look at it again. Yeah, not a problem. NLU Delhi is second, sir. Well, I don't know if it's arguably. I mean, it's definitely a top 2-3 type of a college, so shouldn't be a rank 2 and 3. It's not too much of a difference if it's one notch below Nalsar or just equal to NUJS or something like that. It's not really that much of a real difference. If you get NLU Delhi and you get NLSIU Bangalore or you get NUJS, right? That's a wonderful problem to have, right? That's a wonderful problem to have. What do I choose between NLU Delhi and NUJS is a real problem, right? But that's an excellent problem to have. Of all the problems in the world, a law aspirant having that problem is awesome, right? So I wish a lot of you have that problem, and then we can discuss. And then we are happy to have an hour-long conversation and trying to figure out whether this one is better or that one is better. But for that, you need to qualify both NLU Delhi as well as get an awesome rank in the CLAT examination, right? So then it's a good problem to have. Anyway, on the occasion of World Environment Day, right? On the occasion of World Environment Day, we have just launched our Instagram handle as well. And on the occasion of the launch of the Instagram handle, right, and the link is there in the description box, you should be able to participate in some interesting contests that we have, right? Just need to follow the 3 simple steps. You need to follow us on Instagram, upload anything or create a DM and tag us, etc., right, with a poster or a poem or a video, etc., for this wonderful occasion of World Environment Day, and we will select a few of those and we will announce the winners tomorrow itself. So today is the day to get your creative juices flowing, right, to get some of your neurons to perform the task that they've been waiting to perform and get cracking at it, right? Tomorrow is also interesting for all of you here that have subscribed to the YouTube channel, because we are bringing Mr. Tariq Khan, who is going to be joining us. He's one of the top lawyers in terms of young lawyers, right? And he's going to be talking about litigation as a career and what are the advantages, what are the challenges, right? And I'm sure he will be answering so many of your questions. So do stay tuned in. Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. he will be coming on live. We will conduct an interview. We will give you time to ask your questions. So prepare up and ask as many questions as you guys feel like. Okay. Now, you of course know that the CLAT examination has been postponed. And because of the postponement of the CLAT examination, we now got the opportunity to provide you with even more resources. And we were planning to do only till booster batch 3. But now that all of you also have a little more time, we are bringing to you on popular demand another crash course, the last batch of the crash course, where we'll be doing everything from tort law to constitution law to contract law, miscellaneous laws like IPR, family law, international law, WTO, a lot of these things, of course, all of these things are things that I've already been doing, at booster batch 3, but batch 4 is around the corner. It's just about to start off, so enrollments are still going on. Please do join us for an awesome revision. Essentially, on June 1st we also launched the batch for 2022, that is batch 5, the comprehensive course. We still have the mock test analysis course, where we are analyzing each and every mock, taking you through each and every question. Some are easy mocks, right, and they're not too many questions that the students have, but some are difficult mocks, and that takes a little bit of time to analyze, even 15 to 20 questions in terms of each section and so on. So we're doing not just for CLAT examination, but also the SLAT examination, as well as of course today's discussion, which is the examination for National Law University Delhi, that is AILET examination. Crash course for the BLAT exam as well as Jamia LLB, the AMU entrance as well as the BHU entrance. All of these entrance examinations follow a very, very similar pattern, to each other. So that's also something that we are bringing to you. Somebody was asking if the BLAT dates are out. Whether the dates are out or not, the crash course dates are certainly out, and make the most of it is what I can recommend to all of you. Those of you who are still young and are thinking of giving the examination in 2 years' time, those people are also welcome to join us for the detailed foundation module and comprehensive course that we are bringing to you for CLAT 2023. Okay, coming to the focus area, what will be the expected date? 3 days बाद purity test है, so पहले उन्हें prepare कर लेते हैं. Okay, because 12th board has also been cancelled. Aparajita, I think we are really living in how should I put it, in uncertain times, and what is that very, very famous book by this Nobel laureate Gabriel Garcia Marquez, who wrote that book called Love in the Time of Cholera, which is one of the most famous books of all time. If you've seen the movie Serendipity, or if you watch the series Friends, and so Love in the Time of Cholera is a very famous book. And I really want to tell you, this is academics in the time of Corona is also quite a bit of a challenge, right? Academics in the time of Corona is also quite a bit of a challenge. So do stay prepared for any kind of uncertainty, right? Do keep a track of the dates as and when they come out. There will be no surprises for you guys. There will be no surprises for you guys, because we will make sure, right? We will make sure that any important update that comes on the same day, even if you don't check the website, we check it every single day, morning, afternoon and evening. 3 times a day at least we check all of the important websites. So even if you miss the update, but you have subscribed to the Gradeup YouTube channel and you have pressed the bell icon, right, you should not have a problem, right? You will definitely have access to all of the important information at your very, very doorsteps. No, Suddenly, इतना expensive क्यों होता है? Akhtar bhai, I don't know how to respond to that. These are all government colleges at the end of the day, and I think the idea is to make them self-sufficient, right? कि fees से ही वो अपना college चला लें, right? With the fees itself, they should be able to manage their affairs rather than providing subsidized education. Just like MBA colleges, IIMs are even 3 times more expensive compared to national law universities. Also, it's about 12 to 15 lakhs per annum. Is the 10 lakhs to high per annum for the courses at IIMs, including their flagship program, which is the PGDM, or what you popularly know as the MBA program. And of course, IIMs don't offer MBAs; they offer PGDMs, which are postgraduate diplomas, in management. So again, the idea is that IIMs should be self-sufficient, that they don't have to borrow money or they don't have to rely on donations from the government or allotments from the government. They have their own money to manage their affairs. I think that's the idea. Aparajita, also lockdown is removed. Well, I mean, sir, I'm preparing for CLAT and AILET so I can crack MHCET also. Yeah, I don't think you need to prepare for Maharashtra CET very, very differently, right? Just a little bit of practice of Maharashtra CET question papers should probably be enough. Right, अभी सब कुछ लगता है कोरोना पे डिपेंड. That's true, Trisha. I don't know what else to say. Namaste, sir. Dr. Alok Mani. Dr. Alok Mani, doctor. You're already a doctor, and you're here. Maybe one of the parents of somebody who is an aspiring student of law school. In either case, welcome, Dr. Sahab. And I hope I'm helpful in terms of differentiating between the CLAT and the AILET examination and so on. So is there any separate videos for contract law and criminal law on YouTube? Khushi, I don't think it'll be available on YouTube, but because that's core subject areas and a lot of details, a lot of detailed videos is not something that we do on YouTube. But in the comprehensive courses, of course, you will have access to contract law, criminal law, tort, constitution, family law, international law, pretty much everything. Right? Okay, CLAT versus AILET. CLAT versus AILET, what is the main difference? The main difference is practically not much, but after 2020, these examinations are very different, because the whole pattern for the CLAT exam has been radically changed, whereas NLU Delhi continues with the old pattern, which means at a very basic level, the AILET exam continues with their old pattern, right? So when it comes to legal reasoning, for example, there is no passage based legal reasoning questions. It's not passage based, it is principle and fact based questions. So reverting back to principle fact based questions is very important. Here you will have to revert back to the principle fact questions. Principle fact questions, why? Because that's pretty much what the AILET really asks you, right? So there is a legal principle given, there is a set of facts that are given, and what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to apply the principle to the given set of facts and come to your own conclusion, right? Now, the difficulty level, the AILET examination consistently more difficult, right, than CLAT. The AILET has consistently been more difficult than the CLAT examination, which means that there are a few more tricks that are involved in the AILET examination as compared to its what should I say, elder brother or the more popular brother, which is the CLAT examination. Now, why I say it's a little more difficult is because a lot of times in the AILET there will be no principle, right? There will simply be a set of facts, so you have to think on your own, right? On your own you have to think about what could be the principle that should be applicable in a particular fact situation, then apply the principle on your own, and then come to the conclusion also sort of on your own. So it's a little trickier. There's a lot of times, right? There's a lot of times, again, you'll see particularly if you look at point number 5 here, there's a lot of times that a student is required, compared to the CLAT exam at least, that you are required to go beyond the principle given, right? Beyond the principle given many times, yes, right? There's a lot of occasions when particularly in the AILET examination, it may not be in other exams, right? It may not be in the black paper, may not be in the should I say symbiosis paper, but NLU Delhi is unique in terms of the fact that it expects you to go beyond the principle also many times. So you will see that one of the options or two of the options will be dealing with a principle that is not even given in the question paper. So yes, in AILET you can go beyond the principle given, right? You can go beyond the principle given. In CLAT, it is extremely unadvisable. It is extremely unadvisable to go, beyond the principle. But in the AILET, you can do that, and a lot of times principle will not be given only, which means you have to do that in those kind of situations, because if principle is not given, that means you have to apply your own legal knowledge, right? You have to apply your own legal knowledge. Just as a simple example, if there is a principle of negligence, right? If there is a principle given which is of negligence, okay. Let me just, principle given is of negligence. The facts are that, person A is the servant of person B. Let me just take you to the next slide where I'm just typing out this stuff for your convenience. A is negligent in driving. Okay. A was working as a driver. Okay. Is a servant of B. A is negligent. A was working as a driver, and person C suffers some injury as a result of the negligence of, okay, as a negligence of person A. Question is, can person C file a case against person B? Okay, now one of the options, let's say option A. Option A says yes, option B says no, right? Option C says no because B was not at fault, and option D says yes because of vicarious liability. On the YouTube chat, guys, what do you think is the answer? So the principle of vicarious liability is not given. Please note that the principle of vicarious liability is not given. What do we still mark? We still mark option D. This is the correct answer. This is still the correct answer, right? Because we have a specific principle. We have a specific principle that has been referred to in the options, right? We have a specific principle that has been referred to in the options. So even if that is not the principle given, what is the principle? Principle is negligence. Khushi, that is very, very negligent on your part, first of all. Khushi, you are being negligent because I have clearly mentioned the principle. Principle is negligence. So principle of vicarious liability is not given. We will still apply vicarious liability because the principle of vicarious liability is mentioned in one of the options, and if we apply vicarious liability, of course option D becomes the correct answer as well, right? So that's how we should really go about particularly an exam like AILET. So just keep this example at the back of your mind. So in the place of vicarious liability, clearly mentioning vicarious liability, it could also be yes because A is the servant, yes because B is the master, anything which clearly implies, right, जिससे clearly पता चले कि यहाँ पर vicarious liability की बात हो रही है. That the point is about vicarious liability. If the language indicates that, अगर language से वही चीज in any case पता चल रही है, that's also enough, right? So we need to go beyond those principles many times. The best way to get used to all of these things, what is the best way to get used to all of these things? Well, I mean, it goes without saying but let me just say it in any case. The simplest way is to keep looking at past year papers, keep doing the mocks that we do here at Gradeup, attend the classes and the sessions to clarify your concepts. We have doubt sessions where you get to ask all of your questions. So it's very, very important that you keep a track of the nature and the kind of questions that we usually get, right? So if it's the same question in CLAT examination, if it was CLAT, then the answer would be C. If it is a CLAT exam, in this particular situation, you should still go beyond. But CLAT now does not have principal fact based questions. CLAT doesn't have principal fact based questions anymore. Okay, Jaya has a question. So what would be my rank to get into NLU Delhi? It should be ideally somewhere within the top 100 or 110, let's say. Well, to be on the safe side. And the cutoff usually is in and around 110 or 115 out of 150. So that's the score you should be targeting, and you should be targeting 110 is still not very safe in terms of rank. You have to be ideally to guarantee it, you should be within the top 90. Okay, 95, 97 it's possible, but just to be safe, score more than 110 and get a rank of under 90. That should take you to National Law University Delhi. Okay, so that's our quick overview. Of course, we will be discussing a lot of these things in far more detail when we do come in for our more comprehensive lectures. We do have enough doubt sessions, etc., where you can ask us a lot of these questions, right? Otherwise, aap sabka weekend aa chuka hai, it's just around the corner. Although during the course of the lockdown, well, I mean, goddamn weekend and no weekend, it pretty much seems like a working Sunday every day. No, that's what the whole idea is. You can't go out of your house, so you're not really going to office, but so seems like a holiday also, but at the same time it's a working Sunday, 7 days a week, right? 7 days a week. So anyway, that's essentially what I wanted to discuss today. I hope this was helpful to all of you. Do reach out to us on the numbers given here. This is the WhatsApp number on which you can reach out to us. These are the numbers. You can pick up the phone and just give us a call. Most of you have my personal phone number as well if you guys want to ask me any questions, and I can also help you out with a lot of these Gradeup courses, and which course would be most suited to you and all of that. Feel free to reach out to me as well as any of these lovely counselors who would be there to help you out. Pranjal says, but we can play PUBG at home. That's true, Pranjal, no doubt about it. So do I. I play a lot of PUBG myself. In fact, I think probably I'll go get a couple of games in before the stock market closes at 3:30. As well. Okay, guys, it was nice catching up with you. Thank you very much for being active on the chat box as well. I will see you guys tomorrow with another interesting discussion when we meet. So until then, until 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, thank you very much and have a lovely Friday evening ahead of you. Bye everyone. Thank you very much.